Hi everyone, it's Scott here from That's English School. 英語研究プロジェクト、よくある間違いを分析します。今回のテーマはですね、いつも英会話ですんでね、スルーしてしまいます。無視すると言いますかね。なぜかと言いますと、長い話の中に入っているような感じが多いからですね、なかなか直しづらいです。自分の性格のせいで、直すタイミングのコツはまだ掴んでいない。いちいちね、その間違ってるところを言わないタイプなので、みんな生徒さんたちが一生懸命英語で言おうとしてるからですね。かわいそうですね。そのバランスを取るのは自分にとっては大変難しいところです。でも今回は冷静になって、ここをちょっと直した方がいいよという気持ちでやりますので、一緒に頑張りましょう。So let's get ready to move into the English section of this video, and we'll start off by looking at the problem and move on to the reason, the solution, and finish off with some example sentences. Sentences? You ready to go? Let's go. First, let's look at the problem. I'm back to home. I'm back to home. You would be surprised at the number of times I've heard this. It doesn't make any sense at all. What did you do after work yesterday? I backed to home. You backed to home? Wow! Why are you so surprised? It sounds really dangerous. What on earth are you on about? So if a native speaker heard this kind of sentence, they might think that you were some kind of crazy person. How come? Let's find out in the next section. In the sentence, I backed to home, we're using the word back as the main verb. In English, we can only use back as a verb in two ways. The first way means to drive a car in reverse. I backed my car into the parking space. That's why if you said, I backed home, it sounds very dangerous. It sounds like you were driving backwards the whole way home. It's also used with the preposition up to make the phrasal verb back up. I always back up into my parking space. Back up is also used when you go over a point again in a conversation or a presentation. If it looks like the person doesn't understand what you're talking about, say this. Let me back up a little bit. The second meaning of the verb back means to generally support someone. Maybe you've heard this before in the music industry with a backing singer. We're backing you all the way to win the election, or to provide financial support. It's usually in business or politics. My father has agreed to back me financially in my new business. So those are the usual ways to use the verb back. But how do we say, I backed to home, in more understandable English? Coming right up. There are a few points that I need to go over to help you understand the mechanics of how it all works. Point 1. If you want to say 戻る or もう一回行く, we need to use back as an adverb, not as a verb. It's usually paired with come and go. Come back or go back. My Australian friends came to visit Japan in the spring, but they're coming back in the summer. I need to go back to work after I've finished eating this. I've got so much to do. Point 2. When go back or come back is used with a place name like a city, a prefecture, or a country, we must use to. I went back to Hokkaido. Are you going back to Scotland this summer? When are you coming back to Japan? However, if you're using an adverb like home, here, or there, you don't need to use to, because it's already included in the meaning of the word. He always comes back home at around 10 p.m. Come back here right now. I'd love to go back there again one day. Point 3. How about get back? Is it the same as go back? The simple answer is no. Get back means to arrive. Go back means to return. Do you always go back home on the last train? Yeah, that's usually how it works. What time did you get back last night? I got back just before midnight. Point 4. When using back as an adverb, it has some very close friends. Give, put, take, and have. These can be used to mean 戻す or 返す. Can you give me back that book I lent you? I caught a black bass, but I put it back. This avocado is rotten inside. I'm taking it back. Can I have my dictionary back? I need to use it. Just remember, with phrasal verbs like these, pay attention to the sentence structure. If you're using them with a noun, it can go after the phrasal verb or in the middle between the two words. You have two choices. I put the book back on the shelf. I put back the book on the shelf. But if you're using it with a pronoun like it, them, her, or him, it always goes in the middle and never at the end. You only have one choice. I put it back on the shelf. I put back it on the shelf. Let's mix it up with 5 example sentences. The first one is this. I never get back in time to say goodnight to my kids. It really makes me question myself about what kind of father I am. We're using get back, meaning to arrive back at home. Interestingly, I used question myself about, which is often followed by a WH question or a noun phrase. We're never going back to that restaurant ever again. The service was deplorable. When something is deplorable, it is really, really bad. Absolutely awful. Are you good at backing your car into tight spaces? No way. My driving sucks big time. So that's a really great slang expression. Remember, it's very slang. If you suck at doing something, it means you're really bad at it. I have to drive every day, but I still suck at it. Remember, as I said, this is a very slang expression, so use it with care. John Mayer, one of my favorite singers, says he can't wait to come back to Japan. He's a Japanophile. A Japanophile is someone who has a strong interest in Japanese culture, people, and history. How often do you manage to get back to your hometown? Let me know in the comments. For me, I'm from Glasgow in Scotland, so I manage to get back home maybe about once a year. If you're a super busy person but you still want to study English, how about the 2-minute English playlist? 2 minutes for each lesson, and there are 50 of them. I'll see you over there.